There I am turning off the camera. You've got another question. What do I usually do for Christmas? Bugger all, really. This Christmas Andrea and I are going over to her daughter's place in Sheffield. But yeah, it's usually like a family thing. We just sit around, open presents, eat food, watch telly, and generally we're very lazy. Play toys, play games, pretty chilled. It's fun, that's how I like it. Bit of booze, yeah, without getting absolutely mullered. Echo 50100. What's my favourite Genesis game? Sonic the Hedgehog 1. Very, very, very closely followed. And this is probably sacrilegious because it's widely regarded as being not very good, but I love it. Hard Driving. I really, really like the Mega Drive version of Hard Driving. See, I would be really, really torn if someone said to me, you can only have one of those games, you can only have Sonic or Hard Driving. I don't know what I would answer. This is a TameFan. Is Steve Benway the God? The God? I'd settle for a God. When did I start to collect games? Well, I suppose 1986, because that's when I got my Acorn Electron. No, it might actually be in 1985, which would be when I got my Atari 600XL, except, well, that's when I started collecting the hardware, kind of. I wasn't really collecting then. That's when I got the first machine that I've still got. And I didn't really collect software for that because I couldn't get any software. The Electron I started collecting games for, and I still have them, so I suppose technically 1986. But I didn't consider myself as collecting retro stuff until about 96, 97, something like that. So 12 years, 13, something like that. My maths is, yeah, it's about 12 years, isn't it? That I've been conscious, you know, it's been a conscious decision to collect retro hardware. How many games do I own? Yeah, I've answered that one. Roughly 600, give or take 100 or 200 or something. I don't know. I'm not going to count them all. I'm sorry, I'm just not. There are too many. I think about 600. Why did I start doing YouTube videos? That's a good question. To put on my website, really. I was oblivious to the YouTube retro gaming community. It was not a factor. I was doing my website and I was doing, this was on Benway's World initially before I even started Retro Gaming Collector. I had a section on my gaming collection and I wanted to put on videos of my games. So YouTube seemed like the ideal way. So it was just like 3-minute clip for each game, me talking a little bit. I was absolutely oblivious to all the other retro gaming people out there. I wasn't concerned with comments and popularity and anything to do with community. Didn't know about it, didn't care about it, it wasn't a factor at all. And then all of a sudden there's all of these people going, wow, that's great, or cool, or do more, or stop talking, or something. People started talking to me and it all kind of built up from there, and I'm still gobsmacked by the whole thing, because it's not what I expected. The way it is now is not what I was planning to do, but it kind of snowballs and I'm going with the flow. And while I'm still doing them primarily for my website, I am trying to cater for you lot, really. You know, if I do something and find, oh, people seem to be liking that, I do more without compromising my original goal, which was things for my website. Does any of that make sense? Am I rambling mindlessly? Itsabomberscope. That is a cool name. Dear Jimmy, could you fix it for me to let me know what kind of games console you would make if you could design it yourself? What features would it have? How would it look, etc.? And what would it be called? Can't wait for my Jim will fix it badge. Jewelry, rattle, rattle. God, I used to watch that. Any young whippersnappers wondering what the hell that's all about? That's Jim will fix it. That was on in like the late 70s, early 80s. You've got to be an old git to know what that is. Sorry, what was the question? What kind of games console would I make? It would be a PS3 with none of the stupid updates, and with a 3D headset, like the old virtuality ones. It would make you throw up, but I don't care. Maybe that would be fixed. Yes, it would have the quality graphics that you get on a PS3, but it would be on a 3D headset with stereoscopic vision thing, and done better than they did with the Virtual Boy, so it doesn't just look like looking at a whopping great big screen. You'd have to put you in there. Yeah, that's what I would do. What would it look like? Maybe it would be covered in barbed wire. I'll tell you what it would be called. It would be called the Benway's God Box. That would be cool. Yeah. Fardo 77. How old am I? 41. When did I quit smoking? I quit smoking about four months ago, something like that. I'm not exactly sure. It was around 4 or 5 months ago. And I have smoked since I was 24. So that's a while. I had breaks. I quit smoking for about a year and then started again because I'm an idiot. But yeah, so I smoked for quite a while. Went cold turkey 4 months ago. And you've been a smoker for 15 years. Well, I tell you what, congratulations, because I used patches and I was horrible. So going cold turkey, yeah, well done. DVD 2409. How many games do you have in total? You're the third person to ask me that. I don't know. I'm guessing about 600, give or take 100 or 2 or 3. I really don't know, and there really are that many I can't count them. Rudy Doody 05. Hey Steve, I have no question. Cool, here's your answer. LpParody. Is that your own hair or do you wear a wig? No, it's your wig. I stole it. Are you short or long-sighted? I'm short-sighted, very short-sighted. What camera? I see no camera. What is your favourite Star Wars game? Oh, Atari Star Wars arcade game, every time. Yeah. You know, the cabinet, the sit down if you can find it, with that really cool controller. What do you think of the simulated universe theory? I'm not familiar with it, so I can't answer that one. Are we talking Matrix here? I do read. I read New Scientist, and it's got all kinds of theories, and one of them is that the universe is just a holographic representation of a program, I guess. I think it's actually entirely feasible. I have a whopping great big theory that's been rattling around in my head for 20 odd years about how reality and the universe and everything works. And one day I'll do a video about that, but I'm not ready for that yet because it's a bit horribly complicated and makes my brain hurt. Do you have any children? If not, would you like to have any in the future? Oh my god. Andrea has children. They're all grown up now and more or less moved out. I don't have any children. I will probably upset a few people here. I dislike children greatly. No, can't stand them. I think they're horrible. I would not ever want to have any. I think that answers that question, doesn't it? Okay. What are my political views? Left, centre, right? Centre left, really. I do believe in capitalism, but I also believe in having a social conscience. I vote Labour, but I do think they have lost the plot. But really, when you look at the alternatives, over the past 5 years I purchased lots of PC games with bugs and have had to download patches. You think modern gamers are just rushed out to make money? Yeah, almost certainly. But when has that ever been different? That's just the way it is, unfortunately. And the internet makes it more feasible for them to do that. So, wonderful as the internet is, yeah, it does have a downside. It means game developers can be sloppy and lazy and fix things later. But just imagine if there was no internet and they released them all bugged and everything and you couldn't download your patches. So, yeah, it swings and roundabouts. Do you understand the internal workings of a computer? No. not really. I don't know diddly about electronics, so if you were to say this computer's broke, please fix it, no, I couldn't. I built my Amiga, like bought the circuit boards and everything and connected everything up, but in terms of the actual engineering, I haven't got a clue. I do understand the basic principles of how computers work in terms of binary programming and how that's compiled into binary, and the workings of binary code, and you know, the basic theory behind how they work. But I'm no programmer, I'm definitely no engineer, I'm no electrical engineer, electronics engineer, blah blah, all that, no, not really.